Okay, hey guys, so let's talk about hostess coaching. So this is a topic that we haven't really discussed very much in any of our team trainings or anything like that. But hostess coaching is basically where obviously it's pretty self-explanatory, but it's really important to have to make sure that you have a successful event. So party or event or whatever it is that you're doing. So after you have your hostess, scheduled and on the calendar, you want to make sure you're following up with the hostess and kind of coaching her on how to have the best event. There's different ways that you can do this, and I've seen different methods that people have used, but for the most part, you basically want to keep in contact with the hostess leading up to the event. Make sure that the date works well. Make sure that she knows what to expect in terms of how many people she should be inviting and how many people to show up. You want to recommend that she personally invites a lot of people, especially just because the average of the amount of people who actually show up who are invited is kind of low. So you want to tell her, like if you invite 30 people, then 10 people are going to show up. So you want to make sure that she is out there talking to people about Posh. In this sense, you're going to she's kind of like a temporary consultant. And you're basically coaching her on all the things that you would do to be as the consultant, so that she kind of gets a taste of what it's like to be a Posh consultant, and know that it's not really that difficult or anything like that. So if you offer, so that you can offer her the opportunity later on, or at the end of her event or whatever, make sure that she knows that. Yeah, so make sure that you send her out with some catalogs, send her out with samples, and make sure that she's aware of how to place an order. Make sure that she knows that she can take order forms around and get people to order that way, or that she can direct people to your website and to click the event at checkout. Make sure that she really understands what she's getting, what the hostess perks really are. So you get your hostess and you have her down on the books. Your job isn't over. From there, you're going to want to schedule. I mean, I would put in your calendar times before the event, so that you can make sure that you are following up with her and making sure everything's good. So I usually send out a hostess packet, or I meet up with her and give her a hostess packet and tell her everything about it, so that she understands what the expectations are and what she should be doing. It shouldn't be anything crazy. You shouldn't try to, she shouldn't feel overwhelmed, but she should be aware that there are some people that aren't familiar with Posh, and that to have a successful event, she's going to have to kind of introduce it to them so that they're more comfortable with it. And so when they do come to the party, then they've heard about it more than just when they get to the party. My hostess packets usually include catalogs, order forms, business cards, and samples. You can put as many samples as you want. It can be, you can put them in bundles of 6, so that the buy 5 get the 6 free, or you can just put in a bunch of random samples in there for her to pass out. And then you want to make sure that you are following up with her a couple days before the event. Make sure that everything's okay. Double check with her and ask her, you're like, hey, have you followed up with people? Have you checked to see if who can make it? This is partly for your benefit, so that you know how many people to expect. If this is a home party, you don't want to go there and find out that there are 20 people and you expected 5. It's a little overwhelming for you as a consultant. So you want to make sure that you as a consultant know how many people to expect, so you know how many catalogs to bring, how many samples to bring, and that's a good way to bring that up with your hostess, so that your hostess is following up with her guests, so that she isn't just sending out a random Facebook event invite, that she is actually talking to her guests, so that you can make sure that she's actually in contact with them. So like I said, I usually like to try to do at least 2 touches. So I book it, I send out a packet, whether it be online or home. I try to meet with her and talk to her about the packet, what's in it. And then I try to talk to her, obviously following up through it, but at least once before the actual event starts, so that she's aware, of who's coming and who's not. And then from there, you want to also talk to her in terms of expectations as a hostess. Obviously, being a hostess is very, very simple. They don't really have to do a whole lot, but I would definitely encourage your hostess to post about it. So if you are doing a home party or an online party, I recommend having a Facebook event set up as well, so that she can get her Facebook friends involved, and so that she can post and talk about the products leading up to the event. Make sure that, so tell her you want her to post about it, talk about her favorite products. And it's not like spammy or salesy or anything like that. It's really just her sharing her favorites. Maybe you have, maybe she doesn't even have to do a video. It'd be great if she do pictures, but if she didn't do pictures, she could just talk about her favorite products. And her favorite products could be anything from like soap to hand cream, and she can talk about why she likes it, because obviously people are going to be more receptive to her opinions and her reviews, because they know who she is and they know her, and they trust her opinion. So definitely make sure that your hostess knows that she has to be semi-involved in terms of posting what her favorites are, or talking about what her likes are. So basically you want to make sure that your hostess, you're prepping your hostess to be a consultant, really. You're teaching her how to do it, how to do the party. You're teaching her how to take orders, how to talk about the products, and who to talk to. And then when you're at the event, whether it is an online or a home event, make sure that your hostess is involved. If she is somebody who wants to talk about the different products and is very hands-on, then that is excellent. If she's a little MIA, especially if it's an online party, then I would definitely make sure that you are talking to her throughout, and making sure that she is following up with people and like talking to people about the products. Obviously, don't overwhelm her. Just ask her what she wants to do. Like if she has a certain goal she wants to reach, make sure that she's aware of where her party is sitting at, so that she knows a little, so she has a better idea of what she needs to be doing to push her party to reach her goals. Other things for hostess coaching, other things that are involved. Well, spoiling your hostess is another thing that I think is also included in this. So you can offer incentives for people to host a party, and you can, I usually like to gift this to them after the party has run, whether it's online or home, or gifting it to her at the home party, so that everyone there realizes that she's getting a gift for this, and it doesn't have to be anything big. If you are a newer consultant and you don't have a ton of money to invest in this, you can always just go to the dollar store and get her some like pampering goodies. Like it could be a thing of chocolates and like an eye mask, or a loofah sponge, something that just basically lets her know that you are super thankful for her hosting. And you want to make sure so you want to make sure that she's aware that you are thankful for her hosting, whether no matter what she's doing, because you want to make sure you're keeping those doors open, so that if she decides that she wants to rehost or host another party, then she'll want to do it with you. So then after the party, after the party and all the orders come through, if you are doing a home party, and it's a local party, and if you had all the products shipped to you, then make sure that you separate it out, put labels on everything, make it look cute, and make it easy for the hostess to hand out to her customers. This is another way, because then you can deliver it to her, and this is another touch for you. So another time for you to talk to her and be like, hey, look at all these awesome goodies. Like, let her know how awesome or how amazing how easy it was for her to get all those perks, and for her customers to get like the best deal. Because even if she decided not to join your team, keep a good relationship with her, because you never know, maybe in the future she'll want to join. If you did a home or Facebook party and all the product or all the items shipped to the customers individually, make sure that you guys are following up with the hostess and the customers to make sure that they liked their products. So follow the 2-2-2 follow-up rule. And you want, like, even if after the party, you want to keep in touch with the hostess as well. Thank her for hosting, and tell her how much you enjoyed hanging out with her and her friends. Even so, perhaps you already sent her a hostess gift or something. Maybe you sent it to her before or during the party with her samples. Well, you can also send her a thank you gift if you want. Basically just remember that you're keeping the communication lines open. So make sure that you're just basically, hostess coaching basically means that you're coaching your hostess to be a mini version of yourself. So another, like a temporary consultant, like I said before. Does anybody have anything to add in terms of hostess coaching or any other questions? Okay, cool. Well, obviously, you guys want to make sure that you are going out and talking to your customers and to your friends and family. If you guys are looking to book events now, especially because of the incentive period, make sure that you guys are actually talking to people and letting people know what your goals are. Asking somebody, will you host or can you host or whatever, is not if you just come out and be like, hey, will you host a party for me? Then that's not gonna, like, what does that even, maybe they're like, well, I'm busy. But if you're like, hey, I'm trying to reach a goal and I have one date left, or I have this date left, like, does this sound good for you? Like, will you host, like, can you host on this date? It's super easy, super simple. You want to make sure that they know what to expect. Sometimes people are afraid of hosting because they think that it involves like cooking a meal and having hors d'oeuvres and all that stuff, and it really isn't. It's as simple as they want it to be, and it could be like store-bought cookies and juice, milk and cookies night, and having their friends over, and it can be super fun. So you want to make sure that you're talking to people and seeing what their objections are with hosting, because maybe they have unrealistic expectations of what they should be doing, or perhaps they've gone to other parties or they've hosted other times and they felt like it was too much. So talk to them about it and see what it is that you can do to help them ease into hosting. Yeah. So anything to add, questions, specifics? Okay. Well, I'm going to end the recording and then we can do some Q&A and stuff. But if you guys have any questions on this topic or any other topics, remember we are in our incentive period, so it's a really great time to push. Even if you guys aren't going for Costa Rica or pushing for Costa Rica, then I really urge you guys to hit incentive pink within the period, or incentive pink, so which means you want 1,000 in PV between June 1st and September 30th, and it's super doable. If you guys have any questions, feel free to post on the team page. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.